Ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, I believe there's no denying here that there's a lot of fans who either love or hate this movie, and that it is quite a divisive movie, but not quite as divisive, not even nearly as much as The Last Jedi. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, in case you guys have missed my initial review and my reaction of The Rise of Skywalker that I posted back in December, you will know that I had similar opinions to a lot of fans out there, is that there's a lot of scenes in this movie that I really do not like at all, and there's a lot of scenes that I also really love in this movie. It really is like an emotional roller coaster for me. But one thing is for certain is that Disney and Lucasfilm initially had planned to create a different version of Episode 9 before all the different reshoots, the rewrites of this movie, and all the different changes and adjustments that they went through back in late 2019 in order to create a different tone for Episode 9. Now, J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy had talked about this repeatedly, even the editor Mary Ann Brandon, about how the production of this movie was quite a challenge and how they went through a lot of obstacles, a lot of problems, and a lot of issues that they had to work out. And this really was a big deal for the production of Episode 9, you know? When we think about Episode 9, obviously we think about the culmination of the Skywalker saga, the final film of the sequel trilogy. But in their eyes, this really was the biggest deal to actually complete and to get right. So, with that being said, one thing that really does intrigue me the most is, of course, what could have been before the reshoots and the rewrites, and one of the particular sequences that has all to do with Anakin Skywalker and Rey. Now, specifically, both Disney and Lucasfilm are now focused on the future of Star Wars as a franchise, and that they are currently developing their new Star Wars universe that will consist of TV shows, movies, and more. However, many fans have been wondering about what could have been before the reshoots and the rewrites of Episode 9, before Disney and Lucasfilm decided to delete many scenes for the second and third acts of the film. Now, these changes were made in order to create a different tone for the film and to make it cater to a general audience more so, where one of the deleted scenes had to do with the Force ghost of Anakin Skywalker that was planned to appear to Rey in a place called the Prime Jedi Temple, within a location known as the Lost City. This was a scene that was created by George Lucas before it was cut, and that it was partially even shot for the film with Hayden Christensen and Daisy Ridley. Now, the scene of Anakin's Force Ghost would involve the moment Rey arrives at the Prime Jedi Mosaic and begins to meditate over it, where she would begin to develop her very own lightsaber in the film and complete the design of her new hilt. It's noted that originally George wanted Rey to create her own lightsaber midway through the film, and that Anakin's Force Ghost would guide Rey to developing the saber through some words of wisdom. Now, where later on she would ignite a double-bladed lightsaber that was used from her staff to create a new saber hilt. This was a sequence that was nearly complete before it was deleted and put to the wayside by Disney and Lucasfilm during the reshoots back in August of 2019. Now, the scene was also said to have a dedicated track by John Williams dedicated to Anakin Skywalker during the sequence, and that parts of the scene were taken from Colin Trevorrow's original script before he was fired by Lucasfilm. Now, the thing that I don't like about Episode 9 is the fact that they really took away all the Anakin scenes and they only reduced him down to a disembodied Force Ghost voice, where you don't even really, get to see him at all. You don't get to really witness Anakin Skywalker as a Force Ghost. That was the one big mistake by Disney and Lucasfilm, and this really was their last chance to do this within the actual Skywalker saga movies per se. So, when we look at everything related to Anakin's presence in the Prime Jedi Temple, let's talk about this now. Now, the Prime Jedi Temple, guys, in case you guys did not know, if you guys have read the visual dictionary of The Last Jedi, you will learn that the Prime Jedi was the first of the Order, or at the very least, in legend, was believed to be the first of the Order. And we're talking about the Jedi Order. So this is the Jedi that actually developed the idea, the overall concept of the Jedi Order. So that's a very interesting thing, the fact that they were going to visit this particular temple where Anakin would be able to communicate with Rey and guide her to developing this double-bladed lightsaber, which was an original idea by George Lucas, and that she was going to have her own saber midway through the movie early on during production of Episode 9. So, that's the thing here. In the new movie, obviously, we do get Rey's yellow-bladed lightsaber that's also taken from her staff, but keep in mind that it's not a double-bladed one. You only get to have a single-bladed one in JJ's, final version of the movie. So, when we look at the character of Anakin Skywalker, it really was a big failure on Disney and Lucasfilm's part. The fact that they could not utilize that character into the story, I think really was a lack of judgment, and really was the fact that they really do not know exactly how they could have handled Star Wars the best way that they really could have. And when we look at everything related to the sequel trilogy, there's so much potential of what they could have done, with The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and now, yes, even The Rise of Skywalker. Having Anakin's presence, having his guidance, and even having Rey developing her new lightsaber midway through the movie, because of Anakin's words of wisdom, would have been so magical and just mesmerizing, to say the least. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.